everyone. Today I'm with a multi-talented multimedia artist who excels in several different fields, including world creation, music production, and game development. You may know them from worlds such as Fate of the Airblast, Laserdome, Duobeat, Procedural Ambience, and Refulgent. I am elated to be speaking with xCirrex about their new virtual music experience, Iridescence. xCirrex, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm enjoying it.
xCirrex, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am a 30-something-year-old Swedish dude who works in lighting design, and I have a huge hobby in everything VR and music, audio creation. Yeah, that's what I live for.
What started you on your VR journey?
I'm gonna have to admit things. I think it was the You Gonna Knuckle meme that went on YouTube. That's when I first got interested in VR chat. Before that, I just played, the lab by Valve or whatever. Like I had the headset for like a year or something before I got into VR chat. But once I got in there, instantly hooked, as many of us who are still here.
What motivated you to start creating virtual worlds?
I think the motivation initially came from, I have this stupid, expensive headset, and I might as well try to create something for it, right? And what other better place than a game where I could just get people into whatever I have created? This world we're standing in is actually my first world that I ever made. That was just starting up as a experiment. What can you do? Then it grew and became an entire city. So as I'm working with architects a lot as in my daily job and doing the lighting design for that, I have a huge knowledge in Google SketchUp, as it used to be called. Now it's, I think, Trimble SketchUp or whatever. That's the exact reason why all my worlds look in this kind of style, because that's what SketchUp can produce. And very low poly looking, at least, not under the surface, but those are the tools I'm using for making my worlds. And then I'm using FL Studio for creating the audio design, and of course, Udon Graph for making the code for them.
Explain how MIDI works within your worlds.
The MIDI was something that has been in VR chat since forever, it feels like, even in SDK2. Back then, you could go to Word and play on a MIDI keyboard, and things would happen in the world, like it would pick up what you were doing. I noticed that when I made my second concert, the Refulgent one, that was the last year's ones. And in there, I used the MIDI input to send in network events into the world and trigger the lights and effects live that way. And then I kind of asked VR chat very kindly for about a year to have native reading support for MIDI, so I can upload a MIDI file straight into the world and then read everything from there, so I don't have to rely on my ping and everyone's connection syncing up at the perfect exact same time. So now I program the whole light show, every single light you see turning on and off and changing color and changing beam angles, everything is just hand-picked MIDI events throughout every song, and sometimes up to 500 MIDI events per second. Having all that being read inside the world rather than me syncing it up over the network made it possible, really. It's a very interesting system.
Who or what is your main inspiration behind all your work?
For the music concerts, I have a very straightforward answer, and that is Jean-Michel Jarre, or whatever. I'm not French, I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. Sorry, Jarre. He made a concert 3 years ago. That was super cool, and I went and saw that. And I thought, I'm gonna one-up that shit. I'm gonna make it better. So I did my own. Next year, he did another one even better, and I was like, God damn it, I need to one-up myself and him again. And then he made his third one, and I made my third one. And now, this year, I'm not up against him in the Raindance, because we were next to each other last year, and I really like that. He's someone I really, really look up to, because he's always utilizing the latest technology to make some really cool things to show for everyone. And him standing in VR fully tracked and all that, that's insane to see. So he's a very big inspiration. Got many game developers in VR chat who I look up to immensely, like Husa, for example, or even Pikapidi of his weird experiments that he's making. Dinky, huge inspiration as well. Everyone in VR and in this community is so nice to each other and helping out for everything we're making. So they're all big inspirations, and I want to inspire people to create as well.
What was your main inspiration behind Iridescence?
Long backstory why I got into making music in the first place was by I was in therapy, and they were not pushing me to it, but they were inspiring, or whatever you could say, to make something that I should put my emotions in, right? So all the music I've ever made has been emotions that I feel at that time, and I put it there and I put it away, and I have it saved for later. Like it's in there now, so I don't have to worry about it myself anymore, right? Iridescence came out when I was in a very tight spot because of work stress and just general like world situation, you know. Everything was happening very, very quickly last year, and I got stressed out. So I figured, all right, I'm gonna make a little bit more of a aggressive album this year, and I think from there, things just kind of spiraled out of control, and it's a little bit of an emotional story for me. You get the opportunity in VR chat and things like that to make things that are a lot more personal. Like you don't have to go to the mainstream thing. I've been making music for like in the software world since like 2006 or something. I think I started in FL, and COVID hit. I got a lot more spare time. I didn't go partying on pubs, so I had a lot more money. So I bought my first synth, which just happened to be the Moog Matriarch. I experimented around with that a little bit and found that being able to patch things back and forward really taught me how synthesis works in an analog way. And then I was just, scrapping secondhand things, and I found a Soviet synth, but it seemed cool, right? And I wanted it. So I went down, took my car, drove down, looked at it, and I felt it, realized I was like, it's not really my thing. And he was like, well, what about this then? Brings out the Polyvox. I didn't know anything about it. Like I looked at it and I was like, yeah, I can try it out. Fell in love with it instantly. Googled it a little bit, saw Heinbach's video on it, and I was like, right, so I'm getting this one. What is it? What do I have to pay? And I didn't even try to haggle with him. I wanted it, and it quickly turned into be my favorite one because it's so raw. So my passion for the analog synthesizers, like, is the rawness of it, the uncontrollable like sounds you get out of them. They surprise you constantly. It's, once you find that sweet spot eventually, if you want to get there, then it sounds really, really good. The adventure of exploring and then finding what you want and then using that for your music, that's what I love about the whole analog universe about synthesizers.
In this particular piece, you've created a circular omni-theater where players can view you perform from any perspective. What influenced that? Over the
years and months in VR chat, and especially going to music events and concerts and things, I've noticed that a lot of people want to recreate the real world, right? They want to recreate a stage because that's what we're used to going to. I figured since we are in VR, and we have the opportunity to make whatever we want, having a circular stage where I can incorporate the audience to see each other on the other side and audio link blinking with them, making them a part of the stage itself, made a lot of sense when thinking about what can I break in terms of rule of a performance.
Do you plan on making more musical experience worlds?
Nah. Yes, of course I am. My goal is to have one per year in the foreseeable future, at least.
How can people find you?
They can find me on X. They can find me on Blue Sky. They can find me on Discord, xCirrex Media. The best way to find me and get in contact with me is to go to any of my worlds. I have a link in a picture form because I don't like to put my invite links as text because I have enough bots joining my Discord as it is, and I don't need any more. Don't post my links anywhere, thank you. Let people fight to get there. Make it a challenge. I have a VR chat group as well. It is Pew4213, and we just hit 1,000 members. I can see we're at 1000. That's insane. I didn't even notice that.
So thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me, and I really, really look forward to seeing Iridescence again at this year's Raindance Immersive Festival.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.